Good morning, dear children. Let's continue with human rights. Well, today we are going to see about the fundamental rights in India. We have 6 fundamental rights. The first one is right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of conscience and religion, cultural and educational rights for minorities, right to constitutional remedies. Sure, these were the fundamental rights which gives shape for all-round development of human beings. We'll see in detail. Right to equality. The equality before law and the equal protection of law. With this picture, you can have to see the difference. If it is equal, everyone can enjoy what they are seeing about. If it is unequal, they cannot be enjoyed equally. So it is out of religion, caste, race, gender or place of birth, everything. So the equalness have been given through fundamental rights. The next we are going to see here is right to freedom. Here also we are going to see about 6 things. Freedom of speech and expression. Whatever you wanted to speak or whatever you like to speak, you can. But there is a restriction when it harms others. The same way, freedom to assemble peacefully without any arms, without any violence. Freedom to form associations and unions. You have right to form your own association, but that should not violate the rules. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of India. You can even buy any piece of land throughout the Indian territory. Freedom to move freely throughout territory of India. Also, freedom to practice any profession and carry on any occupation, trade or business. This is within the territory and within the law. The next right is right against exploitation. You cannot exploit anyone. Especially the law to employ children, that is below 14 years. So they should not be given any work. They should not be exploited at the younger age. Neither the contractor nor any employer can force a worker to do a job against their will. The fourth right to freedom of conscience and religion. This right speaks about the citizen freedom to follow or to practice any religion. All citizens have a freedom of conscience or ideas. The citizen also can have freedom to follow their own way of practicing any religion. Even it gives special permission to convert from one religion to other religion. This is the own will of any citizen. A fifth one is cultural and educational rights. The Constitution gives us the right to preserve, protect and promote culture. You know very well our culture speaks throughout the world. It's a tradition. What we follow is loved and liked by the people throughout the world. We have the right to open schools, associations and societies which promote our tradition and culture. So, this is our cultural and educational rights. The next is constitutional remedies. The fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution. By this right, a person can adopt constitutional means and approach a court if he is denied by his fundamental rights. Not only that, the court orders a writ to give the citizen to follow or grant their own rights. The constitutional remedies put to right anything which may be wrong in terms of constitution. This right therefore protects and safeguards all the other rights. So it is within the constitution, within the law. Here we wanted to speak about Pritika Ashini. who won her right of employment by approaching the court according to the right of constitutional remedies. Hats off to her effort. So this effort just gains every girl, every female in the nation. Maintenance and welfare of parents and the senior citizen. We cannot leave away our parents. We cannot leave or never wanted to take care. No, nothing. This is against the law. So according to the Senior Citizen Act 2007, legislation has been passed by the Government of India. This act says about the children and the heirs to protect or provide the maintenance for the parents as well as for their senior citizenship. So we cannot deny our right as a child, as a children to any parent. We have to protect and safeguard them till their death. Now let's see about the National Human Rights Commission. What do this says about? The functions of NHRC: to inquire into the violation of human rights and negligence in the prevention of such violation by the public servant. So it also inquire not to not to violate human rights. The next, not to intervene in the government proceeding related to human rights. So when the government, the court has been given a proceeding, it has to be adopted and safeguarded by every citizen. To undertake and promote research in the field of human rights. So the NHRC encourage the research for the human rights in the field of human rights. To engage in human rights education among various sections of a society. Also to encourage the effects of NGOs, non-governmental organizations and institutions working in the fields of human rights. So it specially gives an importance for the human rights. If there is any denial or if there is any discrimination in this human rights, the court have to proceed and get back the human rights for every citizen of the nation. Next we'll see the State Human Rights Commission. It has been given to every state in the India. It has been established in accordance with the power conferred on the state under section 21 of the Protection of Human Rights. We'll see about some of the state human rights. Here also, according to the National Human Rights Commission, the State Human Rights Commission inquire into the violation of human rights. So when there is violation in the human rights throughout the statewide, it preserves by the State Human Rights Commission as like National Human Rights Commission. Next we'll see about the child rights. Apart from the fundamental rights described by the Constitution, we have to inquire or ensure certain other rights that specially with the child rights. Right to life, right to family environment, right to education, right to benefit from social security, right against sexual exploitation. You know, nowadays the child have been harassed and also they have been given a sexual tortures. So this has to be avoided. And every child have to give a right of protection. So right against the sale or trafficking. Sometimes the child has been kidnapped and they have been sold to other person. So this has to be avoided. Right against other forms of exploitation like child labor. You know very well about child labor, isn't it, children? Let's see something in detail. Here we see Malala and Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela fought for the rights of human rights with the people that should not be discriminated. Malala have been raised her voice against the girl babies and their education. So hats off to their efforts. Right to education is an act passed by the Parliament of India, enacted in 2009 for free and compulsory education for children from 6 to 14 years of the age as under Article 21 of the Constitution. POCSO also says about or protects about the female babies. It's against the sexual exploitation. So, what's the meaning or abbreviation of POCSO? Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. It has been passed in 2012, regards the best interest of the child as being a paramount importance of every stage. So the child right speaks throughout the nation and gives importance for the child. Women rights under the Constitution of India mainly include equality, dignity and freedom for discrimination. We know, we have seen in many of the concern where the male and female have been given the same nature of work, but children, I feel very sorry to say this, they have been not given with equal wages or equal salary. So through this the woman has been discriminated. So in 1924 at Vaikam, Kerala, Periyar E.V. Ramasamy advocated for temple entry for Dalits. So this is also given for the women rights. Kailash Satyarthi, who have been received the Nobel Prize for Peace, recipient for the founder of Bachpan Bacho Andolan and many other child rights organizations. I was about to say more than 86,000 children in India have been liberated by him and his team members against the slavery and trafficking. Hats up to his effort. What does this Right to Information Act speaks about? The Right to Information Act is a revolutionary act that aims to promote transparency in the government institution in India. This act has been enacted in October 2005. What does this say about? If any common man, whoever in the lower grade, have been given a special permission to demand any governmental organization to provide information, the information must be provided within 13 days of what he has been appealed for. So this is what is Right to Information Act. We can also even question the Prime Minister and as well as the Chief Minister or any governmental officers. We'll just see some of the child rights in Indian Constitution. Article 24 and Article 45 says about no child have to be employed for the hazardous job, and also they have to be given with free and compulsory education. This is what is child right. Let's see what do these child ask for. The child asks for education, for a healthy way of life and also a fair way of treatment. So the right to childhood, what they prefer, and right to be heard, what they say, will abide their rights. So this is what is Right to Information Act and how you have to be passed. This is what were the steps, how you have to ask. This is the way you have to proceed to the government proceedings. It is a great victory of female workers who stand all the time more or less 12 to 14 hours per day while they are working in shops and commercial malls. The female workers, especially the female workers, have to be given 5 minutes of break of every 2 minutes a day to take rest. This is hats off to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. There was a contribution to the laborers, reducing the factory timing for 8 hours a day and compulsory recognition of trade unions, employment exchange in India, employee state insurance, ESI has been given for the laborers, minimum wages have been fixed for the laborers, they should not be reduced in their wages, and especially coal and mica mines provident fund have been issued. What do the reservations says about special reservation? A state of Tamil Nadu provides 69% of reservation of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and most backward classes, denotified communities and backward classes in public employment and in education institution. Backward class of Muslims are granted separate reservations. These were the reservation or the percentage of reservation has been given for the different types of caste people. Backward classes, even with the backward classes, have been differentiated with the Muslims, and most backward classes, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Thus we end today's session and the lesson. Dear children, your homework will be followed. Thank you.